ones who talk a lot. Because I've learned from day one, the secret of spiritually evolving, if you have a teacher, is to shut up. Because he has more to teach me than I have to teach him by a wide margin. So when I'm with a teacher, we can ask a lot of my our students here that was with us at that time. I'm quiet. And it's just irritating when some guy or some woman just started, Master, blah, 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 blah. I'm going, shut up. I'm not here to listen to you. I'm here to listen to him. Get the idea? And it's interesting that how do these people that talk and talk and talk, it's just like, taking a kettle going bang, 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 doesn't do anything. In other words, not words of much substance. Now, I know you guys say, whoa, you're being too judgmental. Well, it's not that I'm being judgmental, because if you're going to say something, give it some substance. You know what I mean? Like, you see these TV shows where they sit in the bar, talk to a bartender for hours, I'm going, and all that to just tell them their life is miserable. Why won't you say a whole paragraph in one sentence if you can? And that is basically a reflection of what's inside. If there's no clarity inside, it manifests as a lot of words coming out of the mouth. Or a lot of words in an email. That's why I have a simple rule. When somebody sends me an email, and on my computer screen, if they cannot let it fit there, if I have to scroll, unless it requires technical details, right? Unless it involves technical details. If I have to scroll, I forward it to my assistant. Hey, read it and translate it to give it to me in one short sentence or one short paragraph. Because if it's very, very long and I have to go through all over the place, that means whoever's speaking does not have clarity in their mind. Don't you notice that if you need to talk to somebody very, very important, or you need to give a speech or whatever, what do? You sit there, okay, you run it through your head. And then what do? Okay, this part is not important, this is relevant, this is not relevant. You start cutting it shorter and shorter until, okay, this is the essence. Everything else is decoration. So just imagine people who talk a lot, guess what? They're always outgoing. So how much is incoming? Not a whole lot. Exactly the point. We learn by shutting up. To be very direct. I know some of you go, hey, you're too coarse. How come you don't say it nicely? Well, if I use nice, flowery words, you guys don't learn. If I tell directly as it is, you want to learn? Keep your mouth shut. Say the right things at the appropriate time. You will notice you'll learn a lot more. Why do you think reading, we learn so much when we read? Because you have to shut up when you read. Isn't it? I'm sharing this with you just to give you the proper context, where oftentimes we react to the environment without the ability to step back, observe, and then direct the body, the emotions, thoughts to respond. So that ability to step back and observe requires what? Get it? I know it sounds like oversimplistic, but in reality it is. Just try to imagine next time you're talking to someone, while they're talking, you just observe. You're observing their syntax, you're observing their mannerisms, their body language, you're observing, what they're saying, and try to observe, okay, how is this in relation to the topic we're talking about? If you just simply observe, you know so much. By the time you start talking, you say a few words, people are going to go, man, you're intelligent. Get the idea? So oftentimes, the less you speak, the smarter you get, but the smarter you look. And maybe quite very similar, the smarter you get, the less you speak. And what comes out of your mouth is well chosen. I know what you guys are saying, yeah, but I'm very spontaneous. There's time to be spontaneous. But you also realize the ability to regulate your speech is a manifestation of how you regulate your mind and your emotions. You go, oh, I'm not a robot. I don't want to plan everything. I'm not saying you do. It's just to remind you one thing, and one thing we've been telling you all this time. The soul, the spiritual self, still gets to choose how to respond to the environment, to circumstances around us. It is that loss of control where the emotions, the words, the body, the mind is all over the place. For example, how many times has it happened, like you're in a group of people, whether in a class or in a meeting, and whoever's talking is only halfway through their sentence, and somebody starts screaming, "Oh yeah, but this and that and this," and then the person says, "Wait, let me finish my sentence." By the time they finish, what that person said was already wrong. I cannot tell you how many times it happened in class. I'm just talking about, by the way, the aura is like this, karma is like that. I'm not even done. Hands are going up. Yeah, but you don't understand. This is what happened. And I go, I'm talking about something else. Oh, sorry. Engage brain before engage mouth. But most people, they engage mouth, and hopefully there's a brain to back it up. I know that sounds demeaning. I'm sorry. But it's just sometimes it's so irritating. People just, I'm going, shut up, listen, understand. And then, so what comes out of your mouth is intelligent. Make sense? That's one of the reasons why some yogis, to take it more on the spiritual level, that's why some yogis, that's what they do. They take the vow of silence, or at least try. They observe. What they're doing is they're observing the body, the emotions and the thoughts, and how it reacts. Like some of you who have attended, what do you call that? Vipassana Meditation. Like a retreat of 10 days. For a lot of people, the most difficult part is the first 3 days. Because you cannot talk, obviously not read email and stuff, right? You cannot have eye contact. So that means there's no way for you to kind of go, it's like you cannot express. And so we're so used to what? Come on, listen to me. Right there and then, you have to be quiet. You have to contemplate. And since you cannot talk, you cannot have eye contact, you cannot communicate, what are you doing? You're forced to observe. You're forced to observe. You observe, yeah, these feelings are coming up. These thoughts keep popping in my head. This sensation, you get to observe. And the reason it's so difficult the first 3 days is because, again, we've repeated this many, many times. The body is like a horse. The emotional body, the astral body is like another horse. The mental body is like another horse. You're a charioteer. And you have 3 wild horses. That's what's happening. And what you're doing in Vipassana is being observed. What are the qualities, the strengths and the weaknesses of these 3 horses? And the first 3 days, it's like you have 3 wild horses who want to take you all over the place. Make sense? That's why it's hard for a lot of people. Then after the 3 days, hopefully, you'll be able to make them behave. So that's the whole idea with silence. It's not because, silence, silence is golden. You always want to be quiet. In other words, you speak when it's appropriate. And when it comes out of your mouth, it's helpful to people, it helps clarify things, or just basically the right thing to say at the right time. How many times has it been that we, me included, that we say things we regret afterwards? Because mouth open without brain engagement. Right? I go, oh man, I can't believe I said that. Or you say, well, in this day and age, it's not only verbal. You type it out. You go, let me delete. Too late. It's sent. Right? What happened? Disengage before disengaged. That's why I know most of you know this. They say that when you're sending an emotional letter, don't send it out right away. Type it up or write it out. Give it a day or two and look at it with fresh eyes. What is the purpose of looking at it with fresh eyes? To be able to, again, observe, contemplate, decide. Okay? Now, so in that story, there are those 4 monks, right? The first one reacted. The second one reacted to the first one. The first guy says, "Oh, the light went out. The light went out." The second guy goes, "Oh, you're not supposed to speak." The third one goes, "You too. You broke the silence." The fourth guy, who's even dumber than the first three, says, "Oh, I'm the only one who didn't speak." It's always... Anyway, get the point. So if there's a fifth monk, or there's the head abbot, or whatever, you know what the guy would have done? Probably that. I'm guessing if any of you were there, that's probably you would observe and go, "Why are these people talking? They're supposed to observe silence." And of course, if you have relatively good control over your mind, your emotions and thoughts, your body, what would you have done? You would have look at them and go, and be silent. That would not have happened if you were not able to step back and observe. True? Not true? I mean, how many times have you received emails, text messages, where people just ramble on, long sentences, and you're going, "Wow, he's really pissed off." Or you go like this, you go, "Wow, this person is really resentful. I mean, interesting." Right? Or somebody screaming, yelling, or typing a lot of bad stuff. You look at them and go, "Interesting people, huh?" What are you doing? You've trained yourself to step back and observe. Simple. The ability, again, we've said it so many times. Are your horses trained? Are you able to regulate how the body is, or is it pulling in one direction? Your emotions is pulling one direction. Right? Are you able to regulate them? I know what some of you say, "Yeah, but you don't understand. I'm very emotional." And where's that gotten you? "Oh, but you understand, I'm a smart person. I think about everything. My mind's all over the place. It's jumping all over the place." How much inner peace do both of you have? Exactly the point. Unless you don't want inner peace. Inner peace is as simple as this. Inner peace is not having emotions. It's not having thoughts. It's not that your body wants certain things. Inner peace is a byproduct of the soul telling the body, "Okay, not now." The emotional body, relax. The mind, shut up, be quiet. I'll attend to all three of you later. I need to take care of this. You understand? So, having emotions is human. Having thoughts is human. Having body urges is human. What spiritual practice is supposed to do is to say, "I will decide when the body does something, when the emotions feel this, when the mind thinks this." It's like, "Okay, this horse want to go that way. This horse want to go this way." No, you guys relax. Stay in the stable. Eat something. I'll be right with you. Easier said than done, I know. That's why it's called practice. You have to keep practicing. Get the idea? That's how you'll notice over time, one of the ways you know you're progressing is you don't chit-chat as much. Because I can't tell you how many times I've gone to places, or I went to family gatherings or whatever. I sit there and going, they just talk for 2 hours. That whole conversation could have been over in 5 minutes. Just go around circles. Right? Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not the amount of time the mouth is moving. It is the substance that's what's coming out that counts. Because that's a reflection of the consciousness. Those are oftentimes when I'm in class, and I know some people got offended, and it was not my intention. I say, "Okay, anybody have questions?" People raise their hands, and I'm listening, and at some point I'm going, I didn't say it verbally. In my mind, I'm going, man, I don't need to hear you think. Get to the point. But I can't say that. That's not nice. So I just kind of guide them a little bit. I say, and your actual question is? Yeah. I went off the tangent. Okay, thank you. It's like, I don't need a novel if all I need is a sentence. Get the idea? So just keep one thing in mind. Whatever's coming out of our mouths, our email and text and everything, it's a reflection of what? What's inside. That's why one of the things I've been trained by my teacher is be clear, short, and succinct. In other words, when you say something, be clear, like the person knows exactly what you're talking about, and it's delivered very short and direct to the point. Clear, simple, and succinct. You'll notice at first it's difficult. I know what it's like because I'm talking to my teacher. He's going like, and your point? Oh, master. Oh, okay. So you meant this. He will actually shorten it before we go, yes, master, what I mean. And one of the ways we learn to do that, if you ever read, what do you call this? Classified ad. Print ad, not on the internet. You can type as much as you like. But oftentimes, in the newspaper, help wanted, computer programmer, or something like that, right? Whatever. They try to make it really short. Help wanted, what's the position? Or the position is already there. Help wanted, submit resume, this number, or email. And they make it really, really short. Because every space costs money. So what happens? If you've ever written one, what do? You try to go, okay, I have like 20 words in this paragraph. What? I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I need this. And what's left is what you need. So the secret to inner peace is not putting stuff in. The secret to inner peace is taking stuff out. Now, look at it this way. Think of a sculptor. Sculptor? So a sculptor creates masterpieces not by dumping clay or marble on whatever they're making. They create masterpiece by taking stuff out the right amount and from the right place. They want to create a beautiful statue. They don't go start slapping stuff on it. No, they take a slab of whatever, a big chunk of marble or whatever that rock is. And what do? They meticulously remove what is not needed. How much is not needed? At the right place. Isn't it? So just keep that in mind. That's how you tell. If you're to benchmark yourself. Okay, last year, this time, if I'm communicating this piece of information to someone, how would I have said it? This time, how would I have said it? If you notice it's getting shorter, with the same content and clearer, you're improving. If it's becoming like 5 sentences in a whole book and it's not needed, you're just going around in a circle and talk about things that are not directly relevant, that means you're going backwards. That's why great teachers, when you study their books, they don't have to be long. When you talk to a very advanced person, when you talk to them, like when I'm talking to my teacher at that time, we're in the car, I'm driving, he's sitting here. You would think we would have hours of spiritual discussion. That's what a lot of us say. Oh, so you went Master Choi, you must have hours and hours of conversation. I go, not really. No. I just says, oh, Master, when it comes to this meditation, what is the essence of that meditation? He goes, it's very simple. It's just a matter of this aura and this chakra. This is the condition. This is what you do to get this result. Like that. I'm going, okay. And the next thing, Master, in this particular situation, what do you recommend you do? He goes, okay, step 1, do this, step 2, do that, step 3, do that. Okay, good night. Oh, he sleeps in the car. I'm going, what the heck? Because within those 2-3 sentences is the essence of everything. Then I have to unpack it. That's what you call clarity. So if we train ourselves to have clarity, guess what happens? It starts affecting your relationships, your finances, and everything else in your life. If there's no clarity, here's what happens. This is the best way my teacher explained. Then we'll meditate, okay? The way my teacher explains like this. He goes, look, if you notice sometimes you pick up a book and you read it. The more you read it, the more confused you got. And you're trying so hard to understand it. He said, you know why? Because the author himself or herself does not have a clear idea what they're talking about. So you trying to make sense of it is just like having a TV where the image is blurry because it's broadcasted in low resolution, and no matter how much you adjust your TV, it's not going to get clear. Because the problem is not your TV. The problem is the content being given through that TV. It's just like no matter how much you try to understand this book, the problem is not you, it's because the author does not have clarity. They're not clear of what they're saying, so no matter what you do, it's not going to be clear. Make sense? However, you notice, if the author has a good command of the material. By the way, do you know the word author is also part of the word authority? Means they know and master that subject. Or otherwise, they have no business writing that book. So that means if they're writing the book, they're the authority on that subject. They should know that thing inside out. So by the time you read it, you're supposed to get smarter by reading it, not get dumber. What do you mean, how could you get dumber? Oh, you feel like a dummy because you're going, I don't get it. It's like, and you ask somebody else who's even smarter than you, what do you think? They go, I don't know. The problem's not you too. The problem's the guy writing it. Make sense? Clarity is extremely important. And one of the first ingredients of having clarity is what? Silence. We talk about, 2 sessions, 3 sessions, we talk about the importance of silence, right? Silence is basically something you need for the spiritual self, the soul, to step back, observe, assess, and direct the body, the emotions, and thoughts to act accordingly. That is what my teacher called accurate perception, which involves what? Careful observation, correct interpretation, and then correct expression or the correct response. If your mouth is moving 1,000,000 miles per hour, it's kind of hard to step back and observe. If your mind is going 1,000,000 miles per hour, it's very difficult to observe. The key is to step back, empty your cup, empty your mind, observe. Very interesting. Interesting. And then from there, process the information. And then you go, okay, this is the right thing to say, or this is the right thing to feel, this is the right thing to think about, and this is the right thing to do. I know some of you go, yeah, it's too mechanical, it's too much work. Well, if it's so easy, everybody be a saint. Right? There'd be no chaos in the world. Just look at the news. Just watch the news. This person said this, cause this person said that, right? Somebody broke up with who, and this person got pissed off, even though it's got nothing to do with them. Notice that? Because a lot of it is what? They're just reacting. They're not observing. They're just simply reacting. That's it. So, I apologize. That was a long lecture, but I thought it might be important because a lot of you want to be better. And personally, in my opinion, before I met my teacher, same thing. My mind was a chatterbox. And I would open my big mouth, and oftentimes my parents say, hey, you're not supposed to say that. Or I'm in a group of friends, I say something, and then later on somebody puts, hey, you hurt their feelings. I go, what? After I met my teacher, I go, okay. Shut up and observe. Be silent. And over time, it worked. That's why when I go to family parties, I come home, my wife is really pissed. She goes, "What's wrong with you?" I go, "What do you mean, what's wrong with me? You can get on stage and talk for 4 or 5 days in a row straight, for hours and hours. We went to a family party, you barely said anything. All you did was eat." We go, because they're talking about things that were of no substance. Like, they're talking about stuff that don't make any sense and just go around in a circle. They move mouth just to have the other person move mouth to create some sound. At least when I enjoy the food, it's good for my tummy. Just kidding, but you get the point. Okay? So, I know some of you go, "Man, good thing we're doing this online. If I meet you in person, then I don't know what to say." Go, no, just relax. I'm just trying to understand the principle. Okay, shall we meditate? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, personally to my teacher, Master Tsokok Sui, Mahaguji Meiling, we thank you for divine light, divine love. Thank you for your guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right, let's try to deepen that silence. And that is by observing, okay? Ready? Just sit comfortably. Silent. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on your palate. Just repeat after me. Silently. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotion. I'm not the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that. The soul, the spiritual self. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. There is only oneness. Now just be still. Just keep your tongue on your palate. Be still. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Be still. Be aware of your feet. Imagine your feet are turning into brilliant light. Your ankles are turning into brilliant light. Your legs are turning to brilliant light. Your thighs are turning to brilliant light. All that light is moving up, up, up. Your hips are turning to brilliant light. Your reproductive organs are turning to brilliant light. And that light is now moving up, up to your abdominal area. Your abdominal area, entire abdominal area is turning into brilliant light. Your chest is turning to brilliant light. Your arms, your hands, up to your shoulders are turning to brilliant light. Everything from your feet all the way up to your shoulders are now moving upwards and turning to brilliant, brilliant light. Just light. Your throat is turning to brilliant light. Your neck is turning to brilliant light. Your face, your head is turning to brilliant light. It's going up, up. That brilliant light's now moving upwards. Your entire body is now light. Any feelings, any thoughts that you have now turned into brilliant light. It's just a bundle of light. Be still. You're not the body. You're not the emotion. You're not the thoughts. You are a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. You are the soul, a spiritual being of pure energy and light. That is your true nature. Be still. That beautiful, brilliant light is rising higher and higher, closer and closer towards the ceiling, where there's another brilliant light above. You're connected in one to your higher soul. You're merging with that brilliant light, way above your head. And just say, I am that. Do it silently. I am that. I am that. The higher soul, the higher self. I'm connected in one to my higher soul. So it is. Allow that brilliant light, which is you, to keep rising and raising higher and higher in the ethers, higher and higher, to an even more brilliant light way above your head. I'm connected in one to the divine spark within me. I am a child of God, meaning we're still growing and evolving. As beings of light, we still grow and learn. We're one with God, we're one with all. There's only oneness. Just be still. Let go, let your awareness and its attention keep drifting above your head on its own. And just simply let go and let things be. Now, just be still and let go. You are a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. That is your true nature. A being of spiritual light. Just silently say, I am that radiant self of light. That radiant self of light am I. Again, I am that radiant self of brilliant light. That self of brilliant light am I. I am that. That am I. Be still and let go and let things be now. So be it. I am that. That am I. Who is that I? I am that. I am that radiant self of light. That radiant, brilliant self of light am I. So it is. Be still, be aware, and let go now. Gently, slowly, come back to your body. Gently move your fingers and move your toes. Very gently and slowly come back. Raise your hands in blessing. This is to release the excess energy that our bodies cannot absorb. Silence and stillness generate massive amounts of spiritual energy. So first, visualize your family and your relatives and friends in front of you. Fill them all with lots and lots of golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with prosperity, and with spirituality. So be it. Bless the city you live in with this golden light. The state, the country, the countries in your time zone. Let that golden light spread throughout the entire earth. May all be blessed, so be it. Just release all the excess energy by blessing Mother Earth. Bless the wildfires in Northern California and other parts of the Northwest, and also in Greece. May they be completely and permanently extinguished, so be it. May the people be divinely protected. May all the people who have been affected by the sickness or in the hospitals or at home, may they be blessed, may they be healed. May all the caregivers be blessed, be empowered and divinely protected. So be it. May all be blessed, so be it. Now be aware of your feet, the base of your spine, and your hands. Project golden light downwards into the earth. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. So be it, and so it is. Okay, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. We thank you for your blessings. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahagu Jumain, thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right, you may open your eyes. It was a short meditation, less than 10 minutes. How many of you experienced the stillness? Anybody didn't want to come back? I think some of the responses here, yeah, they're gone. And all did was what? Observe that you're not the body, not the emotion and thoughts. You're the spiritual self. And just slap on some booster rockets, gave you some secret sauce. Boom, take off. Now observe. Look at your life now. Observe it. You can now look at it more objectively. What are the right things to do? What's not good to do? What's how to feel, how not to feel? How to think, how not to think? It all starts where? Who am I? You screw that one up? Well, guess what? Those horses will take you for a good ride. So at least life will not be boring, but it'll be chaotic. Make sense? So I hope you learned something this morning. I sure did. I read this, meditated on it, and go, yeah, very, very important to observe, to be silent. Okay? Anyway, we wish you all a happy day. We will have the second Anchor Light in 7 hours and 16 minutes. Okay? Namaste, everyone. You all take care, and we'll see you in a few hours. God bless.